guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how I like to make my slow roasted pork roast. It is so good. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram a couple weeks ago because I was making it for Sunday, and I had so many people ask for the recipe. It's truly so simple and easy, but I figured I'd share it with you now because it's a great alternative for your Easter table if you are someone who's maybe eating Whole30 or paleo or low carb, because normally with a ham, I'm not gonna lie, I like me a honey glazed ham. I like it covered in brown sugar. That's just me. But if you are looking for an alternative to add to your Easter table, then this is great because there's no sweetener involved. I'm going to show you how to put the whole platter together. It's really abundant and beautiful, and I think you're going to love it. So let me run you through the list of ingredients for the pork because it's not very much. You've got your pork roast, okay? This is a pork shoulder. I actually have 2 pieces of it because mine was quite big. I need about, let's say, give or take, a good 4 pounds or so. So I'm going to use both because leftovers make for fantastic sandwiches or salads or whatnot. So I'm going to use both. And then at the very base, I've got some onions, parsley, and a few cloves of garlic. Salt, lots of salt, more garlic that I've sliced, and then this is the magic thing, okay? You're not gonna understand it, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but it's fantastic. Whole peppercorns, dried rosemary, lots of oregano, and olive oil. And that's pretty much it. I'm also going to show you how to make my lemon and oregano roasted potatoes to go with it because it's so good. But for now, let's get cracking. I've got my pestle and mortar here, and to it I'm going to add the peppercorn and the rosemary. And I'm going to do is I'm just going to crush these so that the peppercorn are mostly crushed, but I want some whole peppercorns in there too, so I'm not going to take it too far. I'm just making a few little stabs around the pork, and I'm just going to put some garlic pieces in there. What this is going to do is, you got to keep in mind, this is going to cook for a long time. So over the time that it cooks, the garlic kind of melts in there and it becomes really soft and fragrant, and it infuses all the way through the meat, which Mama like that. So I'm just going to continue to do that to both pieces. I'm not going to go crazy and add too much because, like I said, this is going to cook for a long time. So you're going to get that flavor. You don't have to add a ton to it. All right, so stabbed my pork, put the garlic in, my peppercorn rosemary mixture is done, and I'm going to liberally, and you want to liberally salt your meat because there's a lot of meat. And then I'm just going to take this peppercorn mixture, right? Keep one hand clean, okay? You just kind of want to cover both sides. You don't want to leave one side untouched. And then you take your oregano. Oh, this is so good you don't even know. Like, you don't even know how good this is going to be. I promise. Now, if you had just one roast, then it would be easier to do this. But because, like I said, mine was on the larger side, I had to kind of cut it in half a little bit just to kind of make it work. Because I didn't want to be too thick because then it takes a lot longer to cook and then it throws me off. You know what I mean? All right, finish off with your spices on both sides and your herbs. Just take each piece and I kind of make a bed of the veg for it to sit on, like so. And then you take whatever is left over. And the thing is, the peppercorns, right? You're gonna get some heat from when, the grinding of the peppercorn, the finely ground peppercorns, but then the whole peppercorns or the half peppercorns, really rough ones, they just get crispy over time, and it's so good, you don't even know how good this is. And then, clean hand. I don't want a ton of oil. Hold on, my hand's stuck. But I want just a little bit on each one. And this is going to go into a 300-degree oven for, 5-6 hours, or until the meat literally falls apart. I will show you what it looks like. But in the meantime, as this roast, I'm going to get a few bits and bobs ready for the platter in a little bit, and then I'll show you how to make my lemon rosemary roast potatoes that are just dynamite. And that's pretty much it. So the pork is totally done. So what I've done is I've increased the oven temperature to 425. Now most people don't have 2 ovens, you have 1. So what I like to do is I take my pork out, like my roast, and then tent it because that will stay really nicely for about an hour or so. And then you can increase the oven and then you can make your sides. So I'm gonna roast a couple of veggies. I'm gonna make my potatoes, which I'm gonna show you now because they're so good, you're gonna love them. So I've got some baby potatoes here that I've just halved. I've got some simmering water, and to the simmering water, I'm going to add my potatoes. And I'm just going to let them cook for a couple of minutes, not very long. Just a couple of minutes. I'm going to keep my eye on that. And then over here, what I have are mushrooms and asparagus. I love to roast a bunch of vegetables at once if I can, especially for a big meal like a holiday or something, just because it makes my life a lot easier. It frees up a lot of my time, and it keeps my kitchen from not becoming a cluttered mess because I'm not having to do too many things at one time, you know? So I even lined my baking sheet with some aluminum foil, and I make a little barrier here. And that way, like I said, it keeps me from having to get frying pans out and all that. And I'm going to keep the asparagus really simple. I'm just going to do, right now, I'm just going to do salt and a little bit of olive oil on the asparagus. And when they come out and I serve them, because I'm going to be serving a little bit of arugula as well, I just squeeze a little lemon juice, a little fresh drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, and we're good to go. 2 of the mushrooms, a little bit of oil, and then I like to do some granulated garlic and some salt, and that's really it. And when they come out, I'm gonna hit them with a little bit of parsley, and they're gonna be phenomenal. So I'm gonna wait the potatoes to cook for 2 minutes, and then once they cook for 2 minutes, I'm going to drain them, and I'm gonna leave them in the colander in the sink for a couple of minutes because I want to make sure that all of that excess water is gone. So I'm gonna do that. My veggies are now ready for the oven, and then I'll meet you right back here to put the potatoes together and then getting them in the oven. Potatoes cooked for 2 minutes. I drained them well, put them back in the hot pot. Now to this, I want to add a good amount of extra virgin olive oil. Now I also have the pan that these are going to roast in the oven getting hot with a little oil in there. And that's because it helps them not stick to the pan. I mean, they probably still will a little bit, but it really does help. Then you got your lemon, the juice of 1 full lemon. These are so good, you cannot even imagine. I use the whole thing of pits and all, doesn't matter. Then a good pinch of oregano, more than a good pinch, about a tablespoon and a half or so, and a good amount of salt because potatoes drink up salt. And then give all of this a really good, one mix, one flying, a really good toss. Now I'm gonna go get my roasting pan out of the oven and get these babies in. Gorgeous. Now this and the veg are going to go into the oven. The potatoes are going to take a little bit longer. The veggies will probably take about 20 minutes or so. The potatoes could take a little bit longer, like 30, 35. Keep an eye on everything. The veggies are going to be great at room temperature, so even if the potatoes take an hour, you're fine. Your pork roast is just resting, and it's delicious, and it can be eaten at room temperature, so everything kind of comes together really easily, and it's really the kind of cooking that I love to do for a big crowd because it's easy. It's not stressful. So I'm going to pop these in, and I'll show you what it all looks like when it's done. My potatoes look gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. They've soaked up all that beautiful lemon and olive oil. Now my veggies, those only took about a half an hour. My veggies took about 20 minutes. And what I did was when they came out, I just put a little bit of parsley on the mushrooms. To the asparagus, I haven't done anything yet because I'm going to serve some lemon on the side. And I'm just made a bed of arugula for everything. And now I'm just slicing my pork. You can shred this if you want to, but it's much easier to cut it when you're doing this method because you're not braising it. So it could be a little bit harder to pull apart with your fingers. But look how it's juicy and it's gorgeous. And it is slicing, I'm not even kidding when I tell you it's slicing like butter. You see the garlic in there is really soft. I've also made a chimichurri to go with it. If you go to my website, elarainthekitchen.com, and then you go to the search bar for the recipes and you just put in the word chimichurri, it will take you to the recipe where that chimichurri is, and then you can get the recipe and make it yourself. You can serve this with any chutney, barbecue sauce, I mean whatever you want, but I think a really lovely and bright chimichurri is exactly going to be the perfect thing here. I'm just going to put a little bit on the platter. I don't want to overdo it, but look at that. Look at that. And then I just take some of my potatoes, which are just gorgeous, 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 and just pile them right up. That's it. Easy peasy. They're really lovely and crunchy and lemony and so beautiful. And then you take this beautiful chimichurri and you just kind of spoon this all over the pork, really lovely and briny. And then I just tuck some lemon around, just for some lovely brightness. And tell me, oh, look at this piece. Just so happened to fall off the plate. So happened. Super lovely and tender. Tell me you wouldn't want to share that with the people you love. Talk about an incredible dinner that was so easy to put together. Everyone will be satisfied. I gotta have this guy right here. I gotta. Those potatoes. Hot, but so good. You would want to make them with anything and everything. But that's it, really. So, it just goes down so well. If you're looking for a main entree that's gonna please everyone, no matter who, no matter who's on what here, I really hope that you give this a try because, like I said, it was easy to put together, low maintenance, and everyone will love it. Go to laurainthekitchen.com. I will have everything broken down for you in the recipe section. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me. I will see you next time. I'm just gonna do this guy. Bye.